gave a teen hardcover art book from France. He meant a lot to me. I probably would not be where I am today if we wouldn't have had our friendship when we did. Love you, Mike. I miss you, man. I think you'd be excited to see what all of us cartoony, talking animal artists have been able to accomplish because of your inspiration. Love you, buddy.
Coming to you live from Baltimore Comic-Con, this is the 2022 Mike Ringo Comic Book Industry Awards. With appearances by comic artist Afua Richardson, writer and filmmaker Ann Nesenti, artist and writer Bill Morrison, artist and inker Dexter Vines, cartoonist Jean Luen Yang, writer and comic creator Jarrett Melendez, illustrator and writer for film, stage, and television Jill Thompson, artist and writer Katie Cook, editor-in-chief of Topless Media Michael Son, writer and pulp culture journalist Whitney Matheson, cartoonist and keynote speaker Jamar Nicholas, plus the recipient of the 2022 Mike Waringo Spirit Award and your fan favorite picks of 2022. And now, please welcome the host of tonight's event, Randy Tischler.
Please sit down, please sit down. Thank you and welcome to the 6th annual Mike Waringo Comic Book Industry Awards. We are live streaming our event again this year, thanks to Chad Ramsden and Chuck Lindsay and Shauna Lindsay and John Dwyer with us at the last minute, thank you. And also enabling some nominees that could not be with us physically to participate virtually. In the calendar year 2021, the eligibility period for this year's Ringo Awards, Diamond Comic Distributors sent out 18,592 comics, original graphic novels, and trade paperbacks. That's a lot of comics. It doesn't include publishers using alternate distribution channels, self-publishers, the growing field of crowdfunders, or the universe of webcomics. And remember, at least 2 nominations per category are from the fan votes. If you are a nominee, if your name or title is on the final ballot, you have already won. Folks, the next time you are wondering what you should pick up to read, pull up the final ballot, throw a dart, and head to your local comic shop. My iPhone. I'd like to take a second to thank the publishers, creators, and fans who helped hype the nominations and promote the final ballot, as well as everyone who voted. Your combined efforts make the result of both phases a great success. Let's take a moment to recognize the people besides Chuck and Chad whose work has made tonight's festivities possible. Staff members John Gallagher for the program and presentation, Steve Conley for the graphics and website administration, Josh Gold for the awards, David Jeffrey for the sponsorship leading up to tonight, as well as the entire banquet, Matt Merritt, who does the nomination side of the polling, and he is live tweeting tonight. He can't be with us physically. Hi, Matt. Mark Nathan, our fearless leader, of course. And Bruce Guthrie and John Maluski, our photographers. If you've been here before, you know the drill, but if you haven't, please enter from the left. Please exit to the right. So Bruce could take your picture. If you don't, he's going to jump on the stage, chasing you down and calling your name and interrupting the whole night. Yes. All right. Continuing our recognition, our 2022 jury: Jim Calafiore, Carla Speed McNeil, Jarrett Melendez, Joe Murray, and Kiana Whitted, as well as our perennial jurors Todd DeZago, Craig Russo, Mark Wade, who could not be with us tonight, I told you, and Matt Waringo. I have, every year since starting this thing, messed up Todd's name, every year. And he has corrected me every year. Yes. Sorry, man. All right. Where was I? Yes, got it. Jurors read submissions from just shy of 60 publishers of all sizes, from self-publishers to very large publishers, in print and digitally. Participation and interest were up significantly this year, and just like on the shelves, physically or virtually, there was no shortage of great material from which to choose. Thanks to our presenters, Whitney Matheson and Jean Wang Yang, Afua Richardson and Bill Morrison, Bella Rechlin and Jarrett Melendez, Steve Cook got sick to come, so thank you, Bella, for stepping up. Ann Nascenti and Dexter Vines, and Jill Thompson and Michael Sugg. A huge thanks to our sponsors, Baltimore Comic Con and Cards Comics and Collectibles, of course, as well as Boom Studios, Comics Wellspring, Diamond International Galleries, Gem City Comic Con, Jeffy's Family Enterprises, Hard Rock Cafe, Heavy Metal, Image Comics, Intercom, Fauna Direct Market Solutions, Rocket Ship Entertainment, Scholastic Graphics, Source Point Press, they're over there, Pappas Media, they're over there, and TKO Studios, as well as our gift bag sponsors, Abrams Books, Aftershock Comics, AWA Studios, Bad Egg Publishing, Boom Studios, Dark Horse Comics, Diamond Select Toys, Heavy Metal, Image Comics, Iron Circus Comics, Merkle Press, Oni Press, Rocket Ship Entertainment, Scholastic Graphics, Source Point Press, TKO Studios, and Valiant. My arm is hurting already. Quite like with Okay, please give tonight's keynote speaker a warm welcome, cartoonist and New York extraordinary, Scholastic Graphics, our pal. Well, hello. As I have some gimmicks. Remiss. All right, I feel good now. All right, guys, and also I have to answer. We're getting old, yo. All right, thanks, guys. I appreciate all of you. A lot of people. All right, guys. Thank you all so much for giving your attention to for everybody. Yeah. This has been a very interesting ride for me the last few years. And at that point, my name is enjoy those sunglasses.
And also to everybody else that has had a hand in making these things run, it is not easy, you guys. And if you think it is, well, you put on a 3-day convention and award show and you get back to me. All right. And that brings me to Shelly and Mark Nathan. And notice how I said Shelly's name first. I know what I'm doing. Mark's giving me the evil eye already. I have to throw in this part because it's in my contract. When the when the Nathans approached me and asked if I'd be this year's keynote, as everybody says that every year, of, of course I was astonished and humbled and honored. And actually, when I got the phone call, Shelly, you know this, I was in the middle of taking out the trash. And if any partners in the audience who need to make sure you never get too full of yourselves, scooping cat litter and or taking out the recycling is a surefire way of keeping your ego in check. Anyway, Shelly and Mark, I'm so honored to come up here and say some words for you because as much as any of us can say you know someone, I'm very happy to say that I was a friend of Michael Ringo. The guy whose comic book signature is on almost everything in this room right now. And if I can be somber for a minute, let's not break it down a little bit. It's really bumming me out, you guys. We're getting old. And I hate talking about this stuff in front of his brother and sister-in-law and Todd and Craig and Mark and the gang, but the longer time passes, the smaller the window gets when sharing stories about Mike. We keep saying this and it keeps being true. There are probably more people here each passing year who never got the chance, but wish they had got to meet Mike. But he was born before they had the chance. I'm one of the lucky ones, and I got to tell you, you missed out. It's been set up here more than once that one day we're going to run out of stories to tell about Mike. But I also think we established when that moment happens, Matt, you can back me up. We'll just make up some shit. Can I work blue here? I'm sorry. I guess I should have asked first. Sorry. But I'm not going to share stories, you guys. I'll share some feelings with you tonight. Some things that I've carried with me for a long time. I was fortunate to meet Mike at a time when the internet wasn't such a cold, heartless place, where the tubes of you in the book of faces and all that stuff hadn't throttled all of our attention yet. I got connected with Mike and I felt like we immediately became best friends, but as a lot of you know, that was one of his superpowers. He made everybody feel that way. I was so enamored with not just his art, I mean, come on, that was a given, but I was particularly enthralled with how he treated people. Mike would, even at this very show, I recall, would walk through Artist Alley and pick up work from people's tables, taking time to talk to the creators about their characters or with a childlike grin tell them that their book was really cool. Holy shit, it's Michael Ringo. Here, just take it. Just take it. And Mike would say, no, man, take the money. And I'm never going to argue about taking the money. I'm taking the money. There's been so many instances where he would do a guest cover for an indie creator and wouldn't charge them. That's just how he was. I learned a lot from Mike about the power of kindness. This was my best purchase from a Target ever. Kindness, which I'm not exactly sure is taught in this nation's art schools, at least when I was there they didn't. Maybe that's offered at SCAD now or something, I'm not exactly sure. But when Mike shared with me he would visit a friend's elementary school or even another comic creator, it's forever. But there's another part of this I wanted to touch on is, are you guys with me? Getting around to it. All right, a lot of you know what I'm talking about. Mike had a lot of things he wanted to do. Hell, he and I had a few projects drafted out that I was writing and he'd illustrate. Sounded like fun, but just we never got around to it. Guys, how many things have you not gotten around to? Think about it. How many one of these days do we all have left? After yet another afternoon of headset microphone, landline phone call hour with Mike, going back in time. I'll share a little secret about Mike. He had some doubts. I don't think he ever realized how much his fans loved his work. He was always looking over his shoulder, feeling like one of these days everybody would get sick of his magnificent, vibrant, intelligent cartooning and he'd be discarded, out of work and out of the picture. He couldn't see what we saw, but also there may be a sliver of truth to that. The comics landscape was different then, and as we all know, tastes changed often. Maybe he had a right to be nervous. But now in 2022, never has there been so many ways to get it, whatever your it is, done. We're all richer for having such a very diverse, layered mosaic of art styles in our lives now. And it really feels like there's something for everyone. Something I wish Mike was here to take advantage of with all of us. But I feel in my heart his career helped us get here. As the years pass, I think about legacy. A lofty word, but it looms larger the older we get. For the creators in this room, what are we leaving behind? What will they say about us? Will they look through volumes and volumes of stuff you kind of sort of do for a check? Your name printed vertically on spines of collected books that if you were here to defend it would say, yeah, I know, but I really wish I got around to doing that thing with the talking hamster. Are you going to get around to your it? I think about what kind of comics Mike would be doing if he was still with us. Maybe he and Wade would be on their 15th run of Fantastic Four. Or epic shelf-bowing volumes of Tellus with Todd. Interesting to think about. I'm almost done, you guys. Now that I'm in a new place in my career with Leon at Scholastic Graphics, give it up. I can say I've never been happier to be in a world where I have the platform to tell stories with the character I created whole cloth, that I can share with the world on a grand stage. And I'm here to tell you, I get up every day more excited than the last to sit down and get to it, and hope that I can somehow inspire others like Mike did for me, to reach back and be ambassadors for this art form, to impress your inner child every day, and to bring joy, warmth, heart, and fun to projects that you want to spend the time you have left on this marble working on, whatever it is. Thank you. Congratulations to the nominees. Thank you.
Thank you, Jamar. All right. Our first presenters tonight are children's book author, cartoonist, playwright, and journalist Whitney Matheson, and my favorite highly decorated American-born Chinese guy and 2020 Ringo juror, Jinglin Yang.
Oh my goodness, we didn't prepare any sort of playful banter.
We're just gonna talk and see how things go.
I mean, I will say I'm just so happy to be here. There's so much talent in this room and also so many beards that it's incredible.
You know why I'm excited to be here? It's because at Baltimore Comic Con, everybody knows how hard it is to make a comic book. That is not true for the people outside of Baltimore Comic Con, but here people know. And I feel like that's what we're celebrating today. We're celebrating all the hard work and the sweat and the sacrifice that it took to bring these books to life.
Yes. Okay. So do we want to go? Go for it. First one.
Let's go for it.
Okay.
Let's go for
okay.
it.
I'm going. Okay. This category is sponsored by Heavy Metal, and the nominees for the 2022 Ringo Award for Best Nonfiction Comic Work are The Comic Book History of Animation, IDW Publishing. Did you hear what Eddie Gein done? Albatross Funny Books. Elvis, the official graphic novel, Z2. Hakim's Odyssey, Book 1, From Syria to Turkey, Graphic Monday. Run, Book 1, Abrams Books. And Yummy, A History of Desserts, Random House Children's Books. All right.
And the award goes to. Did you hear what Eddie Gein done? Albatross Funny Books.
Wow. Thanks, everybody. So, first off, to my partner back home watching with the cats, yo, Andrea, we did it. Thank you to the voters, the judges, everyone that supported the book. As you know, this is my company, which is hard to do, run a company and do books. And I really have to thank Harold Schechter, the co-author. I couldn't have done this book without him. It's awesome. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. This is just the best gig, isn't it? I'm having the best time.
Our next category is for best colorist. I have to say that out of all the things that cartoonists do, this is the one that mystifies me the most. I cannot color my own stuff. I mean, that's why I'm up here wearing like a black shirt and brown pants. This category is sponsored by Interpop, and the nominees for the 2022 Ringo Award for Best Colorist are Juan Cavia, Bruna Costa, Diho Lima, Dave McCraig, Kay O'Neill, Sandro Pacucci, and Santiago R. Villa.
All right. And the award goes to, oh gosh, okay. Dave McCaig. Here you go. Where's Dave?
Hi, everybody. I'm not sure you can see me or hear me right now, but I just want to thank everybody on Earth basically because I work on a million films. I want to thank my brilliant discerning editor, my talented collaborators, and you out there, my fellow professionals. The wisest judges who work in your class. Especially speaking of the color bandits, the phenomenon of light, red, green, pink, gray, or visual perception, enables one to differentiate. Otherwise, they're going to go, well, I guess I did it, folks.
Okay, we're going to keep on rolling. Let's keep this going. We're going to get a drink right after we do this. Okay. This category is sponsored by Rocket Ship Entertainment, and the nominees for the 2022 Ringo Award for, oh, this is a big one, Best Webcomic are Archie Comics, Big Ethel Energy Webtoon, Batman Wayne Family Adventures Webtoon, I Escaped a Chinese Internment Camp Insider, Let's Play Webtoon, and Lore Olympus Webtoon.
And the award goes to Lore Olympus Webtoon.
Great honor to receive this wonderful award on behalf of Laura Olympus, Rachel Smith, and I hope we are able to continue to push the limitations of our comics and continue to provide inspiring stories, and those nominees have been trying their best to connect with different people in the world, inspiring others that have their inspired lives into comic artists. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay.
This
Oh
is
my God.
the final category that Whitney and I will be.
Yes, this is
Announcing.
Jean's. This is Jean's first time, by the way, at Baltimore. How's it been?
It is. You know, it's been great. It's been amazing. And one of the things that impressed me the most about this convention is how seriously everybody here takes kids comics. Like the amount of time and attention that everybody devotes to young readers is just amazing. It's not true of all of the different comic book conventions in America, right? Which is why it's appropriate that our final category that Whitney and I will be presenting is Best Kids Comic or Graphic Novel. This is our future. The category is sponsored by Tapas Media, and the nominees for the 2022 Ringo Award for Best Kids Comic or Graphic Novel are Avatar: The Last Airbender, Suki Alone, Dark Horse Comics, Better Place, Top Shelf, Just Roll With It, Random House Children's Books, Nobody Likes You, Greta Grump, Fanagraphics, Rainbow Bridge, Aftershock, The Underfoot Into the Sun, Oni Press.
Oh gosh. And the award goes to Avatar: The Last Airbender, Suki Alone, Dark Horse Comics.
Thanks for this awesome award. It's been, comics are uncomputed, by the way. I do this thing, but comics are humanity. So, this was, done with how big and well, colors and all the people that are, of course, this one, and all that there to make sure that people are on time to complete it. Yeah, it's been an amazing thing doing, working on that comics for this year, and really, really cool thing. So, thank you so much. And, before we push on.
Too bad that last set of presenters didn't have much stage presence. And if there's any confusion, that was not Rachel Smythe, that was Paul June from Latinos. All right, to present our next award, please welcome to the stage Chief Creative Officer at Jeppy Family Enterprises, Josh Jeppy.
Hey everybody, this may be a little lengthy, so I apologize. I also apologize for the hat. Take it off, look like the Wish version of The Rock. I want to take you all back in time. It was June 30th, 1974. A 24-year-old young man was working his last day at the United States Post Office. Little did he know the journey he was about to embark upon, or how that decision would change his life forever. The next day, July 1st, 1974, he would open up a small comic store in the basement of a TV repair shop at 612 and a half Edmondson Avenue in Gainesville, Maryland. Who was this 24-year-old dummy with 2 kids and a wife that left his stable job to sell funny books? Steve Jeppy, that's who. Steve's passion for comics and collecting has led him through the decades since that pivotal day that changed his life forever. Steve opened many Jeppy's Comic World locations and immersed himself in retail, including opening his 4th location right near where we are today in Baltimore's Inner Harbor on July 2nd, 1980. Just a little under 3 months later, something absolutely wonderful would happen to him. The birth of a son. Me. That's right. I got to write this speech, so I'm sticking myself in it. Face it, I'm not going to get honored for anything anytime, so okay. But I wouldn't forget to mention my less important other siblings at that time. Steve and his wife, Dari, had 4 children, Melissa, Danielle, Gina, and myself. Later down the road, he would marry again and have his new wife, Mindy, and 2 more children, Brianna and Stevie, thus completing his Jeppy family that we know of. Seriously. Steve's business was growing and his hard work was paying off. On February 1st, 1982, Steve opened Diamond Comic Distributors, taking over for New Media Urjax. This would prove to be his best move yet, making the switch from retailer to wholesaler. Steve still had some retail location when Diamond was formed. During that time, those locations were actually last to be picked. So if there's any shortages or allocations, his stores would take the hit instead of one of his retailer accounts. This was important to Steve. Later down the line, he would actually close all of his retail stores as to not compete with his customers or have a perceived conflict of interest. In July of 1993, Diamond went international with the addition of Diamond UK. Many of us will remember the hard times of the mid-90s when Marvel broke away and distributed for themselves, leaving the remaining distributors and the retailers in quite a pickle with decisions to be made. At that time, Steve rallied his troops and was able to land exclusive contracts with many of the remaining large publishers, eventually becoming the only distributor left standing once he purchased Capital City. As the years went on, and Steve was able to start or acquire several businesses, including Diamond International Galleries, Hakes Americana, which is now Hakes Auctions and the oldest pop culture auction house in operation, Diamond Select Toys, Baltimore Magazine, the country's or